Dementia is now the fastest growing cause of death worldwide, and in some countries, it's spiraling out of control. Over 55 million people are already affected, and cases are appearing decades earlier than expected. But some countries are getting hit much harder than others. Why? In this video, we'll reveal the 9 nations with the highest dementia rates in 2025, and the hidden dangers fueling this epidemic. Could your country be next? Let's dive in. Number 9, the United Kingdom. The UK has one of the highest dementia rates in Western Europe, and the numbers are only getting worse. A 2023 study found that ultra-processed foods, which make up over 50% of the average British diet, are directly linked to higher dementia risk. These foods are loaded with preservatives, emulsifiers, and artificial additives, which trigger chronic brain inflammation and accelerate cognitive decline. But that's not all. The UK's sedentary lifestyle is a ticking time bomb. Less than 40% of adults meet the recommended physical activity levels, and studies show that lack of movement shrinks the hippocampus, the brain's memory center. Combine this with rising air pollution levels, which researchers now link to increased Alzheimer's risk, and you have the perfect storm for cognitive disaster. Number 8, Japan. You might be surprised to see Japan on this list. After all, it's known for its long life expectancy. But here's the shocking truth. Dementia rates in Japan have been climbing at an unprecedented pace. In fact, 1 in 5 people over 65 is now living with dementia. What's happening? A 2022 study found that social isolation is a major trigger for cognitive decline. Japan has one of the highest rates of elderly loneliness, with millions of seniors living alone or lacking regular social interaction. And loneliness does more than make you feel sad. It actually rewires the brain, increasing levels of cortisol, the stress hormone linked to brain shrinkage and memory loss. But there's another hidden danger: vitamin deficiencies. The traditional Japanese diet has shifted in recent decades, with younger generations consuming less fishes and more Western-style food. This shift starves the brain of essential nutrients, leaving neurons more vulnerable to degeneration. Number 7, the United States. Dementia rates in the US are skyrocketing, with projections estimating nearly 14 million cases by 2050. The culprit is a toxic mix of poor diet, lack of sleep, and environmental toxins. A 2021 study revealed that sleep deprivation increases beta amyloid buildup, the same sticky plaques that destroy brain cells in Alzheimer's disease. And yet nearly 1 in 3 Americans reports getting less than 6 hours of sleep per night. Chronic sleep debt is rewiring the brain for failure, leading to memory lapses, confusion, and cognitive impairment decades before dementia even sets in. But the real kicker? Pesticide exposure. The US has some of the highest pesticide use in the world. And studies confirm that long-term exposure to organophosphates, a common class of pesticides, significantly increases dementia risk. These chemicals damage acetylcholine receptors, which are crucial for memory and learning. If you're eating non-organic produce, you could be slowly poisoning your brain without realizing it. Number 6, China. China now has the largest number of dementia cases worldwide, a staggering 15.7 million people affected. Did you say, well, that's not surprising given their massive population? Yes, but here's what's truly alarming. A 2023 study found that dementia is appearing earlier than ever in China, with cases being diagnosed in people as young as 45. One of the biggest risk factors? Air pollution. China has some of the highest levels of fine particulate matter, PM2.5, a type of air pollution that penetrates deep into the brain, triggering widespread neuroinflammation. Researchers have linked long-term exposure to these pollutants with accelerated brain aging, memory loss, and a 60% higher risk of dementia. But there's another issue: excess salt consumption. A 2020 study found that high sodium intake disrupts blood flow to the brain, leading to microvascular damage that contributes to cognitive decline. With traditional Chinese cuisine being salt-heavy, many people are unknowingly putting their brains at risk every single day. Number 5, Germany. Germany has one of Europe's highest dementia rates, and researchers are warning that cases are set to double by 2050. Here is the reason: a rapidly aging population and rising rates of metabolic disorders. A 2022 study found that insulin resistance, a condition linked to diabetes, plays a major role in dementia development. Germany has seen a 40% increase in type 2 diabetes cases in recent decades. Scientists now call dementia type 3 diabetes because poor blood sugar control accelerates cognitive decline. Excess glucose in the bloodstream damages neurons, shrinks the hippocampus, the brain's memory center, and fuels the formation of toxic amyloid plaques, the hallmark of Alzheimer's. But here's another hidden danger: high alcohol consumption. Germany has one of the highest per capita alcohol intake rates in Europe, and a 2023 study found that excessive drinking accelerates brain atrophy, weakens cognitive function, and increases dementia risk by up to 30%. Chronic alcohol use damages the brain's white matter, which is essential for memory and reasoning. Number 4, India. India is experiencing a dementia explosion, with cases expected to triple by 2050. The biggest driver? Uncontrolled diabetes. A 2023 study confirmed that high blood sugar levels directly accelerate brain aging, leading to a 5-fold increase in dementia risk. And in India, diabetes rates are soaring, with more than 100 million people diagnosed, a number that's expected to double in the next 25 years. Why is diabetes such a dementia trigger? Excess sugar in the blood damages tiny capillaries in the brain, reducing oxygen supply and killing neurons faster than normal aging. But there's another unexpected factor: heavy metal exposure. Studies have found high levels of lead, arsenic, and mercury in water supplies across India, especially in rural areas. These toxic metals accumulate in brain tissue, triggering neurodegeneration and memory loss at a much younger age than previously thought. Number 3, Brazil. Brazil has one of the fastest growing dementia rates in Latin America, and experts believe it's due to 2 major lifestyle factors: obesity and urban stress. A 2022 study found that obese individuals are 80% more likely to develop dementia, largely due to chronic inflammation and the destruction of brain-protecting hormones. But here's where things get even worse. Brazil's major cities are experiencing a mental health crisis, with skyrocketing rates of chronic stress, anxiety, and sleep deprivation. Stress floods the brain with cortisol, which, over time, actually shrinks the hippocampus, the brain's memory center. This is why Brazil is now seeing younger adults developing early cognitive impairment, something that was once only seen in the elderly. And there's one more hidden danger: deforestation. The destruction of the Amazon has led to higher pollution levels, reduced oxygen availability, and a spike in airborne toxins, all of which have been directly linked to neuroinflammation and early cognitive decline. Number 2, South Korea. South Korea is facing a dementia crisis like never before. In the past 2 decades, cases have skyrocketed by over 200%, and experts say this is just the beginning. One major factor has been believed to be their extreme work culture. South Korea has one of the highest rates of sleep deprivation in the world, with many people working 12 to 16-hour days and getting less than 5 hours of sleep per night. A 2021 study found that even mild sleep deprivation triggers amyloid plaque buildup, the hallmark of Alzheimer's disease. And then there's technology addiction. Studies show that excessive screen time, especially among younger generations, is leading to digital dementia, a condition where short-term memory and attention span rapidly deteriorate due to over-reliance on digital devices. South Korea is now reporting an increase in cognitive impairment among people as young as 30, which was unheard of just a decade ago. Number 1, Finland. This may come as a shock, but Finland has the highest dementia rates in the world, and the reasons behind it will leave you stunned. A 2023 study uncovered a chilling connection between vitamin D deficiency and dementia, and Finland's lack of sunlight for half the year puts its population at severe risk. The brain needs adequate vitamin D to protect against neurodegeneration and amyloid plaque buildup. But in Finland, nearly 80% of people are chronically deficient. And here's another unexpected factor: low birth rates. Finland has one of the lowest birth rates in Europe, leading to an aging population with fewer young caregivers. This lack of social interaction among seniors is accelerating cognitive decline at a rapid pace. A 2022 study found that social isolation can double the risk of dementia, and in Finland, more elderly people are living alone than ever before. But perhaps the most shocking factor? Alcohol consumption. Finland has one of the highest per capita alcohol consumption rates in Europe, and excessive drinking has been directly linked to brain atrophy, memory loss, and an increased risk of dementia. The countries on this list aren't doomed by genetics. They're experiencing avoidable brain decline due to hidden risk factors that most people overlook. Want to protect your brain? Here's what you can do starting today. 1. Prioritize deep sleep. Aim for 7 to 9 hours per night to clear out toxic brain waste. 2. Eliminate ultra-processed foods. Cut back on sugar, artificial additives, and inflammatory oils. 3. Reduce exposure to air pollution. If you live in a high-risk area, use an air purifier and get outdoors in green spaces. 4. Strengthen social connections. Regular conversations and mental engagement can literally grow new brain cells. 5. Take care of your gut. A healthy gut microbiome reduces brain inflammation and supports cognitive function. Dementia is not an inevitable part of aging. It's a disease with clear risk factors that you can control. Protect your brain now so you don't become another statistic.
And there you have it. What are your thoughts? Next, dive into this video for more essential tips to transform your health and help you thrive. You're going to love it. Thanks for watching Healthy End, and we'll see you there.